Okay, so let's now look at your values, which are an important element in any career choice any of us will make. And if we look at this slide, you can see here it says that our values are the principles which we hold dear. They affect our beliefs, our attitudes, our actions. They're not fixed and they can change over time. And values give us direction and they can help us to solve dilemmas and decide our priorities for living. Okay. And you can assess values in different ways. The very best way is to use a values cards or exercise, and I sell that on my website at £14. If you'd like me to send you a pack, then they're £10. But there's also an online exercise for people who want to get started immediately, and it's good. It's not as in depth, clearly, as using the pack of values cards, but it's a really good way of assessing your values. And this is the most detailed slide I've got. Okay, so our values are the guiding principles that drive our behaviour. And if we have a life in line with our values, we're likely to experience greater satisfaction. And when our values are incongruent with our career, it can lead to stress and discomfort. And many people are unhappy in careers as one or more of their personal values are not being met. So if close working relationships are highly important to you, what would you be doing working in a job that doesn't allow that? And if money comes well down on your list, why are you sacrificing so much just because the work's so well paid? And when we live a life in line with our values, we concentrate on what's most important and it helps us in decision making. So if health is our number one priority, it will affect what we eat, how we spend some of our leisure time, etc. And when we do work in line with our values, it's more of a calling than a job. And for a lot of people, especially my younger clients, it's all about the money. And as people age, they realise money is not the most important thing. But it all depends over time. And that's one of the reasons why I like using the values cards, because I've seen how mine have changed, and now mine's much more into sort of giving back and helping others rather than progressing my career, which is clearly what it was in my earlier days. So I want you to do the exercise, which is either the one that there's a link to that you can access online, or you can wait a couple of days and get the values cards and work your way through those. But I do want you to get clear about your top values. So you make a note of the top, 5 or 7 values. And I also want you to include a description of how you use each value and make a note of it. So if a top value is about collaboration, well, let's think about that. Put an example about when you've used collaboration, how important it is to you. And if it's more about integrity, again, an example that demonstrates high integrity. Again, this is going to be useful for your interview. And also, what I'd like you to do when you review your list is you might notice that there's some conflict. So if you've got both family and success high, so what are you going to do when you're offered a promotion that means working longer hours each week? Peace and tranquility might be important to you, but your life is crazy and you don't have any time for it. And it can seem like a nice extra to incorporate your values into your career, but it's critical to do so, as lack of congruence between our values and our work is one of the most important causes of career stress. And you get stressed early on, but the older you get, the more impact it's likely to have, particularly people around 39 to mid to late 40s. Okay, so as you identify possible jobs, you want to find out more about how they'll match up against your values. Okay, so we'll be moving on to goals next. I don't have a slide here telling you what I do. Yes, of course I do. Just going back. There is your activity, and then this was just some information to get you thinking about it once you've come up with the activity, or once you've completed the activity. So that's it for now, and on the next video we'll be looking into your goals.